So we finally have the long-awaited dossier for the Rhyniognatha, and oh my god, this thing sounds insane. Let's read through this dossier. I swear, every new creature I come across here makes me more sure they've all had their genes tampered with. I know I'm right about this. Take this monster bug, I'm calling Rhyniognatha. Big enough to headline a horror flick, but still light enough to fly and skate across water. Would you believe it also makes a weirdly useful, quick hardening resin with a variety of uses? It can thicken up its shell for a defensive boost, spray hard bullet-like globs, or squirt soft globs that harden on impact to gum up incoming predators. These overgrown earwigs are just what you need to level up your tribe's aerial defenses. And here's a tip. If you crush up the right arthropleura, you'll get an enzyme that makes Rhyniognatha glue as tech disruptive as Dinopithecus dung. Plus, this bug can glue itself to creatures or cargo and carry things around your base. That said, Rhyniognatha raising isn't for the squeamish. Their males have a pheromone that invites egg-laying females to use them as hosts. Harvest that pheromone and you can mark any creature for the female to lay their eggs on. The host then incubates a new generation of larvae that can reap its best traits in the process. If some poor beast gets eggs laid on it by accident, you might still be able to save it by popping it in a cryopod and freezing out the larva. Okay, well, that is a huge amount of stuff for one creature. I'm so blown away by the amount of features that this thing actually has. That is crazy. Like, they obviously kept some things from the original concept, and obviously, you know, they kind of added their own different variations to it and everything and made it work within ARK. Obviously, when we're doing these creature votes, we're not voting for what you see written on the page. We're voting for the creature itself. That's something that a lot of people are missing. Obviously, in some cases, they do take some inspirations and ideas from what's being written down there and suggested in the comments, but for the most part, they kind of just, you know, take the creature and then build upon it from there. So obviously this thing's not the size of a King Titan like it was planned to be. It's more realistic in terms of actual size. You can see it right there in the dossier. So yeah, damn, that is a lot of stuff though. Let's just kind of break this down just a little bit. So first of all, we have confirmation that it will of course be able to fly. Whoa, I know, amazing. But it's also going to be able to pretty much just skirt across the surface of the water, which is really cool actually. We don't really have that many creatures that can do that. Like, there's a couple, like Bloodstalker comes to mind when I think of that. It's probably gonna work the exact same way, I would imagine. Who knows, it might actually be able to go underwater as well. So I do believe this whole like resin kind of thing was also from the concept. I don't know exactly if all this stuff was taken from the concept, but let's just break this down. So with the resin, we've got a couple different uses. We can basically probably put it into a mode where it puts on that defensive buff. And then we also have another mode where it's got like an offensive buff where it pretty much just shoots it at creatures around you. And then of course you have the other one that kind of like stuns creatures by like gluing them up. So that's really cool, man. Like it's kind of like an all around like just amazing tame to actually just use in general. Like you might be going out taming, you could glue up the creatures, hop off, trank it for a little bit. When it breaks loose, drop a net on it, and then you might actually have it out by the time that net actually breaks up. So that is really, really cool. Lots of great stuff right there. I'm actually kind of curious how the glue is going to work against flyers, because that could be really interesting. You could like just fly straight up to like a Quetzal and maybe glue it up or something, and then it's just going to fall down to the ground. Anyway, yeah, so obviously that's really great. Like lots of great features right there. I think that this little picture right here is to kind of represent the resin. It almost looks like it's like on structures, but maybe that kind of relates to this next part, which I'm jumping ahead just a little bit in the dossier. But basically, you can glue yourself to creatures in the base and move them around. The size-wise, it might not, you know, you might not be able to move like a T-Rex. I really doubt this creature could move a T-Rex, but we'll see. Obviously, that was something that the Sky Giga was supposed to be able to do. Again, they're not going with a lot of that stuff, but they have seemed to be able to find a clever way around, you know, not making it gigantic, but still giving it some of these cool abilities. So I'm actually kind of happy with that. Obviously, we're going to have to wait and see what we can actually pick up. We'll do a bit of a test when it drops, you know, into the game in June or July or August or September, who knows? But, you know, anyway, that's really cool. It also actually mentions the fact that you can bring cargo around. So does that mean I could like move a vault full of items? That sounds pretty interesting. Kind of like a, what is it called? The exosuit from Genesis. Yeah, that actually could be kind of cool. Again, we're going to have to wait and see because like we don't have proper confirmation, but it almost sounds like they're kind of hinting towards that fact. One really cool thing that I'm actually super excited about is they're adding a new item to Arthropleura that we're going to need to use to basically get ourselves one of these fellas right here. So I'm guessing we just need to just kill a bunch of Arthropleura, and there's going to be like a rare drop of the enzyme that we can get from them, and then using that we can I guess, is that for taming these guys? It kind of weird because it's in the domesticated part, but I guess it's not domestication, it's domesticated. So once you have it tamed. So anyway, you're going to be able to kill some Arthropleras, get this enzyme, and then basically combine that with the glue from these dudes, and pretty much nerf tech, you know, in the exact same way that the Dinopithecus works. This is very clear. They're just looking to just add more ways to stop people in tech suits, which, you know, makes sense. And actually, you know, this is kind of a clever thing, you know, combining a bunch of different creatures together, like their abilities and stuff, and items from them, and then just, you know, being able to use that to just get around tech. That's really, really smart. I'm actually kind of happy about that. So let's get on to the actual really exciting part. Holy crap, this is horrifying. Even just this image here on the dossier is just really, really horrifying. So first of all, you get yourself a male. It almost kind of sounds like maybe we're only going to be able to tame the males. I don't really know, but anyway, yeah, we'll see. So you get yourself a male. You basically have to harvest the pheromone from it, and then you can pretty much just have females lay eggs wherever you want. So they almost kind of make it sound like if I have, if I have like a maxed out Giga or something, and I make the females lay eggs inside of that Giga, am I going to get maxed out Rhinios then? That almost, it kind of sounds like they're saying that in this. I don't know. What does it say again? The host then incubates a new generation of larvae that can reap the best traits in the process. You know, how does that not mean it's gonna pull the base stats or something from like the creature? I don't know. That's the way I read that. Obviously, maybe some people have, you know, some different interpretations of that, but let me know what you think about that. That would be kind of crazy, especially if these guys are actually really good. Being able to just like go from your like highest stacked creature and then just like pull all the base stats off that could be really cool. But again, we're gonna have to wait and see. None of this is confirmed. These are just my thoughts reading this dossier. But yeah, just in general, like that whole egg laying process is just really, really horrifying. You know, that's kind of the way it works in nature though. Like, as horrible as it is, you know, like flies can lay eggs on your small animals, and they can hatch and start eating that animal, and then, you know, they're gonna go big and strong and everything. Yeah, unfortunately that actually happened to one of my rabbits, and it was really sad. But yeah, anyway, like that is really horrifying to see in the game, and I can't wait to see it. Like, I'm gonna be checking that out day one when this thing drops. I need to do that. I need to do some testing. So man, yeah, this creature, oh man, like I'm really happy that this thing won now, because like I was thinking, you know, the Bastion Beetle sounded really cool with the little larva that we raised, but like they went all out with this thing right here. So yeah, I don't know, that is really, really awesome. What do you guys think about this? Drop your weird thoughts about all this down below, and yeah, catch you tomorrow hopefully for a new series. I wrote a community post about that just a couple minutes ago. Anyway, catch you next time.